welcome to the final part of our Moho-ho Christmas crochet along. So today we're going to make the pom-poms. I've sewn on all my buttons, so I'll show you those and then we'll attach them, and then we are ready to install it around our tree. So first thing we're going to do is make some pom-poms. Now there are 9 peaks on your blanket, so there's 9 of these. So I'm going to make 9 pom-poms. A little bit of a spoiler, I've already made 8. So we will show you how we do this one. So before we do anything, I'm going to be using our Moho Crafts pom-pom pal, but you can use whatever pom-pom making method you've got, whatever you fancy. So I'm going to start with a strand of main colour, and that's about 50 centimetres long. I'm just going to put that aside for later. So I'm going to make my pom-poms using all 4 colours at the same time so that they're multicolour. You could make them all in individual colours. You can do whatever you fancy, can't you? It's Christmas. So we take our pom-pom pal and we just hold that back through there like that. And then I'm going to put this on here and I'm going to do about 20 wraps. So I'm going to hold it on. No, hold it on there. And we're just going to wrap around until, so you want between, like, about, if you're using your chunky yarn, you want about 100 to 80 to 100, what am I talking about, wraps. So if that's, I've got 4 strands at once, that is 20 wraps. So let's just give this a little, lovely. So you then snip off your yarn. I'd already done so. And then we hold this here. What we do then is we bring our little ties forwards like this. Use it double when you tie in so that it doesn't snap. There's nothing sadder than an unpommed pom-pom. So I like to tie here a little what I call an anchoring knot. So it's very similar to a normal knot, but we just have an extra step. So cross your ends over and pull through, and then do it again. And then if we pull this down here, nice and tight, make sure it's in the middle, carefully slide it off. You can see this knot isn't boinging back then, so I can then pull it super tight. This is the bit there. That's the trick to the perfect pom-pom. That's super tight tie and super tight tie. Part 1 of the perfect pom-pom. Right, what we then want to do is get our very, very, very sharp pom-pomming scissors, and we're going to trim all the way around the edge, and then we're going to trim it into the perfect sphere. So snip through all these, snippy, snippy, snip. If you did the stocking cal with us last year, you will be familiar with my fastidiousness when it comes to pom-poms, and that one only needed 2. So this is why I've pre-made quite a lot of these, because otherwise I think the phone memory had been completely full up of me just recording me trimming pom-poms. Right, so we've now got something that looks a bit like this crazy shape. So what we've got to do, as I always do when I'm making a pom-pom, quote Macbeth, be bloody bold and resolute. You've got to cut quite a bit off them. You're going to lose about 30 to 50% of your wool, and that is fine. But it's all about having the good scissors. These are very good, but very sharp, but that's what you want. So as you can see, I'm sort of getting a nice little bit here, and then you can kind of use that as your guide to cut off the body of it. Like this, you get a lovely pile as well. Don't sneeze into this, unless you want to look like you live inside a snow globe. So carry on, snippy, snippy, snip, snip. Once you've got rid of a lot of the bulk of the sort of raggy stuff, like this, we then, and I can't do this on camera because it'll make a right mess, hold on to these, don't cut these off, and then what you do is you give it a right good sort of bash either side of your hand, and it makes any outliers stick out. So I'll go and do it over here. Lovely. Right, so then look, it's made all these little bits that were tucked in stick out, so you can then trim them, and then it is the trim to perfection that we're looking for. Chop that off there. Now don't worry about trying to get them all exactly the same size. They're not going to be sitting right next to each other. They will be spread out a little bit. so don't worry too much. Let's be getting out your measuring tools. Rulers, I think we call them, don't we? Tape measure. So I'm just, oh, I've got a corner there. I don't want a corner. So I'll give it another little shaky off camera. Any more? Oh yeah, look, still a few more cheeky ones starting to pop out there. So we just keep doing this until it's perfect or perfect for you. I need to stop doing this, don't I? Right, so, but we need to make sure we don't cut these tails off, because this is what we're going to tie it on with. Right, so carefully and responsibly dispose of your fluff. Oh, let's see if I can get it all in one go. Yep. Poof. Right, so we're going to just tie these on. So I've got my peak here, and I want to put it so that its right side is facing away from me. And I just pull these through. Now the reason we're tying them on is because if you wash pom-poms, they can disintegrate and go a bit sad. So I'm just going to tie these on so that you can remove them if you ever need to wash your tree skirt. So I've put one end through the chain space that we had there, and I've got it facing away from me. So there, just pull it, tie a single knot, don't do a double knot, and then we're just going to do a little bow. You can trim your ends off if you think they're a bit long there. And then what we do is we'll just press that back so that as we display this, this is all you see. Right, so that is my final bit of making to do on this. So let's have a look at it, shall we? So here's my pom-poms all around the edge. Oh, 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 lovely. Oh, it's like being on a really exciting big wheel. Da, 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 da. And then, are you ready for the buttons? Oh, look at them. Oh, that makes me really happy. I like this one. It's like a sweetie. Right, what I'm going to do, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to wrap it around my tree. Now, I've only got a half Christmas tree, so I've made half too much tree skirt, but we'll see how we get on. Right, I'll see you in a minute. Right, so here we are in the magical Christmas heart of Moho-ho HQ. Here's our tree. Got a few handmade creations on here. There's a bit of crochet on it somewhere. Come down, oh, got a lovely little reindeer, and then, oh, look at that. Oh, that's a thing of beauty. Oh, how delightful. Don't look too close at my skirting boards, they're a bit dusty. But look at that. Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us on this little festive journey. Hope you've enjoyed it and that you've got a delightful tree skirt. Send us your pics and have a very, very Merry Christmas. Bye-bye!